What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mr. Straight Facts Show. I'm Mr. Straight Facts. Good to see you here on this Tuesday. Now, it's been 3 days since I take that back, since Donald Trump, Netanyahu's puppet, decided to take America without anybody's fucking permission into a war that only Israel wanted to happen. That only Israel benefits, we don't benefit. I am of a belief that Donald Trump wants to be known as some tough guy when he's a wussy in real life. That he's listening to Israel and its leaders as if all of their fears, worries, and cares are our fucking problem. They're not. They're their own country. If they want to get themselves in bad situations, let them do it alone. You notice no other country came to Israel's aid but dipshit done. Because there was no imminent threat that anybody's intelligence knew of. Our intelligence didn't see it coming. That we had no threat at all in America to Iran. In fact, we had deals with them that Obama, smart guy, set up. Now, if Donald Trump wanted it to be better, he could have renegotiated, but instead he cut it all up and said, no, we don't need it anymore. We're done. Biden comes in, didn't make a better deal at all, didn't try to bring it back. I don't know why that didn't happen. And then Donald Trump comes in and tries to make a deal like the one Obama had. And when they offered him a better deal than they gave Obama, going from 3.5% of these enriched, uranium or this substance that for nuclear power and weapons and things of that nature, 3.5% was Obama's. They offered him 1.5. They said no, and the next day, not even next day, hours later, bomb and kill the leader of that country. Didn't let anybody know. They ended up saying Donald Trump came out. I mean, it's baffling how stupid these people are. Hey, DJ. Donald Trump comes out and says, and he says this as if he thought it through. But you know he didn't. He literally said something to this effect. Well, we killed the leader of Iran, and we had some people in mind that could take over the country that we could work with, meaning any country that gets rid of a leader, usually because they want a leader that they can work with because of the negotiations aren't going well. You can get somebody who can negotiate what you want. Hence, you may have already gotten infiltrated and found one leader who's okay with America's way. And that leader is the person to go to once we topple the government. That's strategic moving, right? You would move that strategically. This man said, we killed the leader. And we got a lot of people that we would like to work with, but the second and third and fourth people that we want to work with, we killed them too. Oh, okay. And they killed so many, we don't know who we want to lead anymore. We don't know. It's up to the country to find somebody. Who the fuck leads like that? A fucking idiot leads like that. We got negotiations. We're at the table with this country that doesn't pose a threat to us. Israel's been lying about it for 40 something years. I believe 47. It's crazy. 40 something years. They've been lying about Iraq, Afghanistan, and Iran having weapons of mass destruction, and neither one of them have had it. Oh, and like I said before, you was here yesterday, the deal that Obama made, his administration made with Iran, they abided by it. See, in that deal, they allowed people from different countries to come and look at their reserves and maintain it so that they can measure it, make sure that they were sticking by it. And they were sticking by it. So I'm trying to figure out, like, they opened up the doors for all of us to come see what they were doing. And they were abiding by it, and we left. And then Donald Trump comes in and acts like they're lying and tears up the deal. Now they don't have any kind of rules that they can do. Instead of 3.5, they can do 5.5, 6.5. There's nobody to regulate them because there's no longer an issue. We don't have no more deals. Trump comes back in and tries to make a deal. I'm like, I thought you didn't want any deals. Like, last time you cut up the deal and then try and make a new one. Okay, let's give you a better deal than we gave Obama. Done deal. Nope. What do you mean, nope? Bomb. What? We negotiated a deal. You turned it down, and instead of coming back to the table the following week, which you're supposed to go to other meetings, you kill their leader. And then you go on Truth Social. Not to media where everybody goes. All Americans watch television to some degree, or they'll get their media from some social media. Nobody goes on social media, on Truth Social. This man went on the Truth Social. A bunch of Republicans, 30% of the population, if that, you go on there to tell them we're at war. Not the rest of the fucking country. Just your followers on social media. Do you guys understand how remedial this sounds? Let me just go to my account real quick. Yeah, we at war. There we go. Send. They'll get it. Do you understand the dipshittery that is? And when America is waiting on this man to address the world as the president, which he just did in the State of the Union, he didn't come out and say, America, we're at conflict. He literally said in his conversation that he had on Truth Social, we're at war. Started as war. He mentioned war. They turned the Department of Defense to the Department of War. And they're going around starting fucking wars. MAGA didn't see that coming. We defend our country. We don't just go out and start fucking wars, but oh well, I guess we do. I heard Marjorie Taylor Greene today. It's crazy how even when they get on the right track, finally, and know Donald Trump's a piece of shit, they still lean off the side of the track. It's almost like watching a railroad car drive down the tracks on two wheels. And you're like, where are the other two? How's that working? It looks like they're on track, but they still are missing wheels. You're like, how the fuck? She literally is saying, and I got some of them, I'm going to show some earlier. She was on Megyn Kelly's show. Donald Trump is off his rocker, basically. She's saying that. But then they always got to do whataboutisms. They got to do Dems are the same way too, and all this other shit. Dems are not that, okay? Do not say both sides. I promise you. I am so sick of the term both sides. I want to sock a mug when I hear it. Both sides, I'm ready to punch you right in your throat. Shut the fuck up with this both sides shit. Deal with one side at a time. Talk about Democrats and what they got going on. Talk about Republicans, what they got going on. But I'm going to tell you this. On the Democrat side, we are not fucking delusional. We're not in a fucking cult. We hold our people accountable. Al Franken got let go because when he was in his 30s, he had his hands over a woman's breast like this, but didn't touch him. We still kicked his ass out. That was the Democrats. You guys got a man that literally raped children, and you sitting here talking about he's the best president I ever had. We're not the same. Please don't act like you got some sense now and then try to bring the Democrats into your delusional, fucked up world. Nope. We have never been that type of sheep at all. We follow policies. We follow common sense. We hold people accountable for their actions. Our leaders, Democrats, don't always do what they're supposed to do, don't always vote the way the Democrat people want to vote. So please separate the Democrat, like American citizen Democrats, from the leaders we select, which are sometimes fucked up. Joe Manchin. Right? We are not Joe Manchin. Joe Manchin is not the type of Democrat that people really gave a shit about. He's the type of person that would sit there and go on the wacky side of the world and sit here and act like he's trying to be on the fence. No, sir. No, sir. Democrats do not want to make deals with batshit crazy people. That makes no sense. They get their house in order. Then we can deal with people who have a difference of opinion, but they're both living in the factual land of fucking common sense. Not trying to negotiate with an idiot, like a mental terrorist. Their minds are filled with stupid shit. They're the type of people that want to make a decision while sitting on a bomb. Like, what? What's wrong? I'm like, you're on a bomb. Well, don't even worry about that. Let's take a decision. I'm like, no, I'm not coming onto the side where y'all sitting on bombs. That don't make no sense. I'm not coming over there. Let's make decisions where we are both safe and we both have the logic in our head that sitting on a bomb is stupid. But they think sitting on a bomb is just normal. That's not the way we think. Regular ass people, whether you be Democrats or independent, common sense people don't go to the places that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Megyn Kelly and all these other dipshits go to. Now that you guys are coming to common sense land, you still are sick in the head. You can't even, it trips me out, yo. Common sense people, we done told people over and over and over and over again what's common sense. Donald Trump's batshit crazy. The things he's saying is crazy. Racist, sexist, xenophobic, anti-gay, anti-trans, all this shit. You guys are scared of the boogeyman, and the boogeyman ain't paying attention to you. You taste bad. The boogeyman don't want nothing to do with you. And you guys keep acting like, oh, well, I'm scared of this. I'm scared of that. Ain't nobody thinking about you. That's the point right there. It ain't about boogeyman and hateful people. You're not centered. Racist white people. Nobody cares about you. Nobody wants your food. Nobody wants your house. Nobody wants your mayonnaise. Nobody wants nothing you got to offer. And you're pissed off that you run the country and nobody wants to grow up and be like you. They want to grow up being like Mike, not like you. That's the problem. Nobody wants to be you. Even your kids come home with their hat turned sideways because they don't like the manila that you offer, because you don't offer nothing, no flavor, no respect. Nothing. You're just racist, xenophobic. You say shit to put people down so you can feel better about yourself. And everybody else goes on to their business and have to deal with your racism and sexism, your fears of crazy shit that nobody's afraid of but your wussy asses. Who's afraid of gay people? Who's afraid of trans people? Last I checked, I ain't seen them running in the middle of the street, mass killing people. You know who I have seen? White men. Majorly. This Jeffrey Epstein stuff. What have I seen? Mostly white men. Doing it to white girls mostly. There's some that are black, or I can't necessarily tell whether the girl was black or Indian or whatever. I couldn't tell, but still, people of color. But mostly white. That cabal shit of eating babies and killing babies and all the drinking blood, that all came from white people's minds. If y'all ain't never seen a movie called Midsummer, or some shit like that, this cultish type movie, I'm going to keep it a buck because I speak straight facts, whether you like it or not. After watching that movie, I couldn't trust any white person in my fucking vicinity because I could not understand how anybody could fix their brain to write a movie like that and shoot it and get funded and walk around like you just regular people. I was like, looking at white people side-eyed. Watch that movie. I'm a creative person. There ain't a time in my life I've ever thought of shit like that. That's some demon, demonic, crazy shit. I ain't seen no black movie like it. I ain't seen no Latin movie like it. Certain white people, you go watch these movies and you'll see there's something different about y'all. That's not entertainment. That's sick. Whose mind flips to think like that? We're not liking that. No. Not at all. Not at all. Keep that shit. That's a part of like demonic, devilish shit. I don't want no parts of it. Not like horror films. That ain't horror. That's sick-minded shit. Guys as entertainment. And what trips you out is that somewhere that's true. That shit was true. That cultist shit of eating people shit. Jeffrey Epstein and his things, it sounds like that is a part of that type of mentality. And they put this shit in film for life to see forever. And people think, oh, it's entertainment, it's kind of odd. No, it's sick. It's sick. I haven't seen one person's brain of color that came with any of shit like that. Ever. That's why when people talk about Trump and how these girls, 14-year-old girls, do you have to understand something? Behind closed doors, Donald Trump's a demon. You see how he gets angry real quick when somebody says something, go, you're porky or you're pig, you're fatty or whatever. He'll call them names, but don't pay attention to the name. Check the character once it changes. His eyebrows furl up, right? They curl like this and shit, looking like a fucking demon. And then he's like, you're just not. And that right there is like probably 1/1000th of the evil he does behind closed door. Could you imagine this 13 and 14-year-old, what kind of demon they saw come out of that man behind closed doors? Where nobody was watching. I always try to paint a picture for people because people just get these terms, oh, he's just mean. No, evil. Can you imagine harming a child at all? Now ask yourself of doing that sexually. Overpowering a child. Can you imagine it? It's sick, right? It's scary, right? It's a demon type shit, right? You got to be some part devil to do this shit. And then to turn around and flip your head around like the exorcist and be like, can I get some chicken and some fries with that? And let me go ahead and eat real quick. After you don't beat and rape the child, a pedophile, just turn around and just had a sandwich. And went on about his business, stealing from people, breaking the law. And because he was white people let him continue to do it. They saw him doing it. Donald Trump is not invisible. Everybody in his vicinity knows Donald Trump is guilty. The people who were around him knew. Bill Clinton, you can't tell me this dude is just a genius. He couldn't. No, you knew something was wrong with Trump. Epstein knew. He was telling Michael Wolff and everybody that came to his vicinity that he would email. So I can't. If you have a friend that you rarely hang around, you may have went to high school or college with them, you see them every once in a while, I can see you don't know what they're getting into. But if someone is in your vicinity as you're grown and y'all hanging out, going out to eat, you can't tell me you were sitting there, eating your steak, and he didn't look over there, that looks good right there. What are you talking about? But, man, that girl 12, what are you talking about? Oh, no, ain't no big deal. You know that shit has happened. He has no filter. You know it's happened. It's happened on camera. I'm going to be with you in another 10 years. The girl was like 8 or 10. But why would you be thinking about that at a child? Maybe you're so cute, you're going to grow up to be a model one day. Maybe that. No, I am going to be with you when you get old enough to be with. That was his choice of words. Maybe you're a knockout, boy. You're going to have to beat the boys off of her because she is just too beautiful. Or he's too handsome. You're going to have to beat the women off of her. We've heard average people say that. Nobody I know says, I want to be with you when you get old enough. Don't make sense, does it? These people are always trying to shine shit. Tell you that, oh, look at it, it's shiny, but it's still shit, though. Donald Trump is shit. 100%. No amount of money, I don't care. Let's give it to him. He's gold shit, so he can be happy about the gold part. But he's still shit. A shit human being. And now we're at war because MAGA couldn't smell the shit or see the shit in him. They saw the white supremacy ideology in him. They saw a white loser winning. And therefore, them feeling like, I'm a loser too. He's not that smart, but I'm just as smart as he is. I could drink a beer with him. He's cool. I can hang around him. I can make money. And you went onto this weird world, this trip, this journey to degrade this country, yourself, and democracy. You heard this man said he grabs women by the vagina. Didn't stop you. We saw 30 women or so come out and say he grabbed them by breasts and vagina, everything, molested them. That didn't break it. All of them were lying. Even if you try to play the percentages, at least 1 out of 4 was telling the truth. Even if it was percentage, I believe them all. But I'm just giving you the benefit of the doubt. 30, maybe 5 of them is telling the truth. That wasn't even enough. He broke promises left and right to you guys. I'm not going to tax you guys. Not at all. Puts out a tariff, tells you a tariff is not taxes, and you fight to the death to tell Americans that tariffs are not taxes. And we're like, come here real quick. Just come a little closer. Could you please crack open a dictionary and read the definition of a fucking tariff? Just do me that solid. And you couldn't do that. Because you just didn't want to lose, MAGA. You just didn't want to seem like an idiot. And we've been telling you this entire time, you're a fucking idiot. And now you find out that you're a fucking idiot, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Megyn Kelly, after he starts a war. That's your breaking point. I'm cool, you got a breaking point. But you don't get to come from being a dipshit and now be smart on the other side where everybody's been telling you. You finally come on this side and now you're a leader of intelligence. They're always leaders when they have never studied how to be one. They were a leader in insanity. Alternative facts. I'm a leader in alternative facts. Super stupid. Walking around with a cape with an S on it, not being super smart, super stupid. Dun, 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 dun. You want a dumbass? Here I am. And then all of a sudden, when they wake up out of the fog, oh, now all of a sudden you are super smart. No, you're still super stupid. You just woke up. You didn't get intelligence with facts after that. Out here trying to lead people, and you was in a fog of stupidity for fucking a decade. Now you're going to try and lead. How about you sit your ass down and learn something from people who got it right the entire fucking time? Kills me. You're a leader now. Of what? The dipshit woke up brigade? How you going to walk over to the 90-some% women and 80 whatever percent men and try and lead us now? Yeah, this is, won't even tell you're right, but like they just go off on Trump. And you'd be like, I told you that. What you saying that's new? Oh, you had an epiphany, now you get it. Okay. Now sit your little ass down because you fucked it all up. And follow people who actually are leading in this. Because you can't lead because you still got 60% fucked up ideas that 40% woke up. So now, work on the 60% that still has you in a fog. Trying to start a new group. Saying, oh, well, Republicans aren't good. And then after saying Republicans aren't good, she's going to lean over and be like, well, the Democrats were really never good. This, that, and they start wars too. I'm like, Trick, it wasn't Obama starting the war. Who started the last war before this? That would be Bibi Netanyahu mentioning that weapons of mass destruction was in Afghanistan, then Iraq. Republicans wanting to get oil and resources, went along with it because of 9/11. We got to go get somebody. And then you thought you could just win overnight. That was Republican led, voted on by everybody. They followed the rules, but they lied to get those rules together. Colin Powell knew he was lying. Susan Rice knew she had no idea what the fuck they was talking about. Their intel was whack. They knew it. They know bringing Bibi Netanyahu to back it all up so that he could verify and classify. I believe they do have weapons of mass destruction. And then you guys follow off. That was Republicans, Marjorie Taylor Greene. And you ain't 100 years old, so you don't go that far back. I don't even think you go back to Vietnam. So when you talk about the wars that we've had in your time and my time, you literally are talking about the wars the Republicans started under, not Reagan, but well, he had like a war too. And I think his was like more small. It didn't actually last that long, but he did have a war, Reagan. Then you had a war, the big war, Afghanistan. That was George W. Bush Jr. And then Trump. Those are the people who started the wars. So when you come off saying, well, Democrats like wars too, they vote for them and blah, 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 I'm like, You ain't going to do that. You ain't going to try and, your party is falling the fuck apart. Now you're trying to come over to the Democrat Party and say we're just like you. No, we're not. No, we're not. We did not fall like sheep and dipshits for an orange dude that smelled like turds and everything he had to sell you was gold turds. And Marjorie Taylor Greene, we haven't forgot, you made out like a bandit under him. You made all kinds of marketing and money decisions and money moves when he was destroying the economy. You bought millions of dollars worth of shit, knowing that he was going to let up off of it, and then your money skyrocketed, and soon after that, you got your ass out of politics. We ain't forgot that, heifer. We ain't forgot that. So don't act like you ain't part of this grifting, crook, piece of shit world that you don't woke the fuck up because your red line was not to start wars. You didn't give a shit when he was out here killing American citizens. You didn't give a shit about him doing it. Oh, and then you had an issue with the finally you came over for the Epstein survivors. But that was Tom. It wasn't Tom Tillis. That was the other Republican. I remember the top of his name right now, but Ro Khanna and the other Republican at the top of my head, I can't remember. Those two came out. Then you came out later. They got you on board. And they got Nancy Mace on board because she had been assaulted herself. But she comes over here, but she's still batshit crazy on every other issue. And when I say batshit crazy, it's okay for you to have difference of opinions. That ain't batshit crazy. This heifer has like QAnon points. Lauren Boebert, QAnon points. What do you think, Hillary Clinton, about Thomas Massey? Thank you. I want to give him his credit. Hillary Clinton, what do you think about the Pizzagate? If you saw that video, Hillary Clinton was like, bitch, please. Is this heifer bringing up some shit that's been debunked for the last decade? Even Marjorie Taylor Greene don't jumped off that shit. Oh, crow toe having ass. She done jumped off. And you still hear the woman who was in, boy, the decisions. This one was at a movie theater getting felt up and jacking some dude off. And she's sitting here like, do you know about Pizzagate? Wherever the hell y'all elected this woman from, I'm going to tell you right now. We thought people were stupid that made it. Whatever city or town or state this heifer is from, Lauren Boebert, the people there eat boogers for breakfast. Because there's no way she's the brightest of y'all. If so, most y'all live in caves from where that heifer's from. That's just point blank, period. There's no way in hell you sent your brightest and you sent the town dumbass. That's the brightest for your city and your state. No. You can't tell me. You sent the dumbest. You could have just sent a brick to the house and it would have asked better questions. A flounder would have had better understanding of the country. And you sent major dipshit. There is no way this woman learned how to breathe until she was probably, what, 12? She had to live off a machine because that brain is dead. Dead. And you guys are sitting here electing it. That tells me wherever the hell that woman's from, I don't care what you say. The majority of y'all are stupid. You can't tell me you sent your brightest and you sent the dumbest person in Congress. I'm just saying. Go listen to her speak. And then realize as a grown-ass woman, she went to a movie theater and got felt up on camera and played with a dude's, dingle and his berries. And you're going to sit here and act like you elected somebody worthy of representing you and your bottom line in your city or state. Yeah, you need to look in the mirror and realize boogers and glue is what you ate as a child, because there's no way in hell you can't tell me no different that any of y'all got brain cells worth a damn to elect that. You could have elected a 12th grade student that's way better than this woman, that would have did way better by you, but you chose an idiot. So much so that people who are in Congress listen to her and feel stupid just listening to her speak. You'd be like, did this heifer just ask about Pizzagate? We talking about Real shit. She asked about Pizzagate. The shit that's been well debunked. Now, are people out there doing shit like that? I don't doubt it. But they went down this road of like, where's that coming from? Oh, it's at this restaurant, this pizza place. They literally went to that pizza place that she's talking about, Pizzagate, and it doesn't even have a basement in which they said they were at. Now, Jeffrey Epstein, on the other hand, had a way of saying codes and shit like that. But there are allegations of him having children in a basement in one of his housing locations, probably New Mexico. You know why I think it was New Mexico? It's because they looked at other homes in the United States, but they didn't check New Mexico. In fact, news came out either today or yesterday. I just heard of it today. That New Mexico home got bought out by a person who used to frequently go there. There was a Jeffrey Epstein like connection. You see him and his wife, they strange. Hella strange. Look at them. They look like people straight from that movie I told you with the white people eating people and shit. That Midsummer or whatever, Sumner, whatever the fuck it is. They look like those types of people. I lie not. Watch that movie, then go look at these two people that live there, that bought it for less than what it was worth and used to frequent the spot. But this has been a decade. You know, when Donald Trump was president in 2019, when Jeffrey Epstein got caught, that home in New Mexico, they were going to search it. Guess who stopped it? Told them, don't look at that house. Donald Trump's regime told them, don't look at that house. Don't go check that house out. Why? Why would you go into an investigation and find out that he had children and he even stored them in basements, and you went to every house just about, and you ain't seen nobody in no basements. You went to his island, ain't no basement, nobody to be had. And then you go to New Mexico and say, or you even go there, you know he had the house in New Mexico, and people said that they had literally been assaulted and raped young ladies and children and stuff like that at that location, and you don't check it. Not because you're like, oh, I didn't know it was there. No, you were notified it was there. Bill Barr and Donald Trump said ixnay on investigating that house, and they dropped the ball, left it alone. So much so, these crazy people that used to be friends with Jeffrey Epstein, they bought the place up. You know they changed everything out. These people, I get you asking questions about that because it's in the Epstein files, you dipshit. And I'm talking about Lauren Boebert. The questions that you should be asking are in these files. But no, you're asking everything in the sun other than that. Oh, I always want to interview her. Let me interview her about this. When you was 12, did you get your period? Because that's when I got mine. Heifer, are you stupid? She didn't actually ask those questions, but that's about how dumb it is. Like they're just fans of her. Let me ask these questions because I had all these crazy ideas from QAnon about you. Let me ask that. And she was the one that took pictures, or a picture. She took pictures and just sent one picture, I'm sure, while it was going on. And man, did y'all see Hillary Clinton? She got heated, yo. I'm like, you know, you look at it like when I looked at her, I saw, you know, like a mom that would light into. Chelsea got her ass lit into it. She fucked up. I saw a mom like, what? Her face was like, yo, this heifer don't know what. Does she know who she fucking with? She don't, does. No, okay, let me leave before I turn into the Hulk on this heifer. That's what it seemed like to me. She said, you know, y'all gonna do some shit like this. I'm out. And she bounced. And she came back later. But she got up and bounced. She had an exit. But she knew nothing about this shit. But that's what MAGA's doing. And so with, what's her name? Get you guys up here. You got Marjorie Taylor Greene out here coming up with the right answers now, but just trying to throw Democrats under that same bus. And it's like, yo, we ain't under that bus. Not at all. We got our issues to deal with, but we ain't starting no random ass wars. We had no part in this war. Don't ever say that the Democrats in our lifetime that we know of, that's the only people you can really judge. Prior to knowing, if you lived here long enough, you know anything about people way back in the day, I get it. When you come to Democrats that are the modern people who are probably like, 80 now, all the way until like actually now, you ain't see no Democrats starting no just random ass war, and especially not without telling nobody. Now you've seen them unalive certain people. That's been every president. But to full out have a whole army just go take care of some shit, That's a Republican thing. So quit trying to throw us under the bus we deserve to be thrown under. Shit that we haven't done or should have done and can't do or didn't fix, did promise and couldn't do. That shit you can throw every politician under. But Donald Trump and the MAGA movement, there ain't nothing on the Republican side Democrat side like that. They used to always try to mix it up and talk about, the far left. Please. There ain't nothing the far left even has ever proposed that is just as horrible as what you guys did. So don't ever try to compare anything on the Democrat side to the wacky bullshit that the Republicans not only thought, but have accomplished over and over again. Tea Party, MAGA. You guys don't rebrand it more than McDonald's. Because every time you got to come up with some cultish bullshit to get people on it. Let's get the Tea Party. Dumbasses joined that. That's where we got Ted Cruz's ugly ass, looking like Fester, whatever the fuck it is from one of the damn TV shows. If it ain't Fester, it's the grandpa from the Munsters. That's where we got him from, the Tea Party bullshit. He thought he was gonna rise to presidency. He was doing everything he could to get people to believe in his way of thinking, and it worked for many people. Now you got J.D. Vance, a dude that's devoid of any kind of character. I mean, think about this. How can, this is what I was thinking when he was running for office, when he was running for vice president. I'm like, how can a person who can make going to a donut shop and ordering donuts creepy, scary, odd, non-human, like he was made in a lab or some shit. You got donuts over there? You got donuts? Okay. Do you get off like at anytime soon? Like shit like that. You'd be like, fuck? Why you need to know when I get off? You getting paid well? Like, man, you want this shit glazed or not? The fuck is your problem? What? That's the creepiness of him. Creepy. I mean, and you gotta think about it. He came out of nowhere. Peter Thiel is also one of these Jeffrey Epstein-like connections. Peter Thiel looks scary as hell. And that's the same dude that talked about humanity like he wants to blend himself and become a robot and live forever. Go look him up. They was asked a question, something like that. And this fool was literally talking about, you wouldn't want to be a robot or something like that. Well, you don't know about all that. He really wants to be a clone of something. He wants to live on forever. He wants his genes in something forever. And he's the person that brought along J.D. Vance. And J.D. Vance is married to an Indian woman when he don't even like people of color. Got babies by her. And he hang with Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel's gay. So what's his name? J.D. Vance is probably bi. I done seen the eyeliner, bruh. Done seen it. And you ain't in no movies. You ain't got no movie play or nothing like that for you to be throwing makeup on. Don't give me this shit. A man came with money. You came from the South. That's how they groom you. throw some money in your face, help you win something, you go down on your knees and do a little something, something. You know it. Donald Trump has done it with Bubba. I don't put it past J.D. Vance doing it to Donald Trump or to Peter Thiel, because the way he interacts with his wife, and wifey, J.D. Vance wifey, if you need help, just wink. Just wink. Because we can look at you and realize you ain't in a love marriage. You in a loveless marriage. When your man goes up on stage with Erica Kirk's crazy ass and holds her more intimately than he's ever held your fucking hand in person, shit. Ain't nobody that stupid. If I can see it, you should be able to see it and smell it. We knew the Obama's children's name. We were proud of them. We knew Joe Biden's children and names. Prayed for when his son died. Knew that his son was going through drug and rehabilitation and trying to become a better man. We don't know shit about your kids because you don't talk about none of them. You don't show them, you go on vacation, none of that. Nobody interested in it, because if you don't love them, why the hell do we care about them? We knew more about, this ain't no lie, I know more about Obama's dog than I know about his children. That's because he talked about it every once in a while. This man ain't said hi enough. Yeah, when my daughter's this and that, I love how they do this, and we all go out to eat and have a great time. Yeah, no stories. You bring them around, we don't even know their names. You never have a polite story. Oh, when our daughter's like, we got her to get her a dog because she loves the dog. No love for the family. You ain't got to go into all details like a tooth fell out last week. None of that. But when you're there, yeah, we going to eat out because what's her name likes to eat, she actually like tacos. None of that. None. None ya. Joe Biden had it. Oh. Everybody else had it. The Clintons had it. There's nothing to be had or known about J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance is Peter Thiel's bitch. That's it. That's all we know of him. That's all we need to know of him. Because I don't understand how you ain't even said, I love my wife. I got to get home to my wife. You know, my wife this and this, my wife and my kids this. You ain't got no praises. If we never saw it on camera, her sitting next to you almost lifeless, we would not know you were married. But we know that you hooked up with Peter Thiel because you talk about him. I said what I said. 10 toes. Now, I want to give love and respect to only 4 right now because that's all we know. For 4 brave military men and women. It turns out it is a woman. What I had heard, it was only men, but so far out of the 4, I don't know what the other 2 are. There appears to be 1 woman. Prayers go up to Captain Cody A. Cork. I hope I said it right. 35 years old or 35 years young. Sorry for your loss. Thank you for your service and your family. Much love to y'all. Sorry. If we could, we'd do anything we could to bring them back. And I know you want to do the same. I'm not even going to make this, no politics, just sorry. Sergeant First Class Noah L. Teachins. I hope I got it right. 42. May you rest in peace. Love for you and your family members. Sorry you lost your baby. Father, brother, maybe. I don't know all the details, but family member. Sorry for your loss. Thank you for your service. It's a shame. For Sergeant First Class Nicole M. Amore, or Amer, I don't know how I should say that, but 39. Sorry for your loss. Prayers to you and your families. You deserve much better than what you got. May you rest in peace. May your family find some kind of peace and solace. It's not enough, but it's all that I can offer. I hope everything goes for that family smooth, getting you home and you know, rest in peace and whatever valor. I know it doesn't matter. It's to you, but to the families left over, that's left here. I don't know if you have kids or all the family. They know it wasn't in vain when they see the world say their condolences, I guess, and as much as we can do. Sergeant Declan, I'm gonna say J. Cody, 20 years old, just a baby. May you rest in peace, young man. You decided to serve. And like I said, I'm not going to get political because you deserve it. I'll wait till after to get political about this. But I just want the family to know we're sorry that you lost your baby, a family member. It's nothing we can do but other than pray. And I know it doesn't mean anything because all these love and prayer don't mean shit. While you probably are sitting at home right now crying so hard you're vomiting. And I'm sorry you're going through that. May all you guys rest in peace, and may your lineage, I don't know how God works, but may he bless everyone in your lineage from here till eternity for the things that that you sacrifice, not only for your country but for your family. So I say these things. And I don't know what religion or not religion you're in, but in God's name, amen. So going from that, it's tough. The political side comes now is that they didn't deserve this. It makes me so pissed because take them down because our government wasn't prepared for this war. Our Congress, the House and Senate didn't know anything about it. Donald Trump did it out of his fucking banquet room, which shows being ill prepared. Because why couldn't you get to Washington? You got a jet. You could have got to Washington in no time at all. You got a jet. But you didn't find it worthy to take your fat ass to the spot in which all presidents speak about something like this. Nope. You decide to stay in the comfort of your home and tell these families, I guess that's what they say happens in war. I guess that's what it say. Yes, I guess that's what they say. Seeing as how nobody in your fucking family ever died for shit. You had bone spurs multiple times. They weren't prepared for this. So why the fuck are we in it? They've been making up stories it's only been 3 days. Think about this. It's been 3 days. They offered up 6 different reasons. 6 different definitions, at least 3 different definitions of what the fuck this is. Came out on that Sunday or that Saturday or early Sunday, whatever it was, early in the morning, and said we're basically at war. He mentioned war. And they got on the phone and talked to every news station for 6, 7, 8, 9 minutes. Did their little A/B testing. Everybody put it out. They looked at the ratings, and they're trying to run with whatever they find works with the American people. But ain't shit really working. So they really don't have any one of them to kind of stick fucking behind. So Donald Trump says it's a war. Then they come out and said it was a conflict. It's going to be over in a few days. Then it's a few weeks. Then it's all about, it may not be over for a while. And we're prepared to go that route. No, you're not. You're not prepared to go that route. Prepare would mean you strategize for it. You just don't strategize for a 4-day or 5-day event and then tell me you got a strategy for 4 or 5 weeks, whatever it is, and then you got a strategy for a forever war. From here into infinity. You don't have a strategy for all 3 of those. You go out and tell the country, you tell us in interviews and shit like that, whatever it is, that you done killed off all the possible leaders, which means you have not vetted one person. And you're sitting here hoping we get a better person leading that country than the current one the recently deceased one you killed. So you mean to tell me there's probably a worse person that won't even have a deal with you because they can't trust you now? The guy you was making a deal with that didn't seem like he was going to blow anything up, wasn't going to bomb you, had no problems with you. You killed him. So now you don't have no connection to nobody. You ain't got no intel to nobody. And so how you going to negotiate with people of a group of people who owns this country, basically, runs this country? And now with no leader, from what I heard today, there's over 50,000 of them in leadership. 50,000 in leadership. How the hell they overturning 50,000 people when they don't have weapons to fight? You got bombs coming in the sky. They don't know if it's friendly fire, like you on their side, or if it's coming from their own people. Bombs coming all over the place in Iran. And you're going to sit here and say, you guys find some kind of, rest. If anybody, call a 1-800 number. 1-800 Iran leadership. Anybody want to become a leader? You sure? You want to? What's your name? This is how you find a leader. They can call a 1-800 I'm a dipshit American president.org. Is that how you're supposed to find a fucking leader in Iran? You didn't think this shit through. Bibi Netanyahu did, because now he got us in a forever war. We can't get out of it. We're already attached to some shit we don't even know how the fuck we got attached to. You think we stop bombing today? This is what kills me about this shit. If America stops bombing today, say, you know what, Bibi Netanyahu, we out of it. We ain't gonna bomb no more. We done. They still gonna want to kill us. It ain't done. You don't get to back out after killing 150 of their children and teachers. These are their babies. What you just did was a shit ton of people, family members of those babies, have just signed up for this war because you killed their baby. Give a fuck about who you are. They ain't giving a shit about America. Death to America comes because of shit like that. Tell me, America, here's what kills me about this, America. I really want to ask you a question. Not all y'all. The 25%, 24% that's rolling with Donald Trump 100%. And they said some other number today, like 40% or whatever. You're rolling with Donald Trump 100%. Why are you rolling with him? You'll hear some of them say, well, they have a bad regime and they're out there killing people and it's just terrible. So your decision for us to go to war is how they're treating their people and that they are threatening other lives and all stuff like that. Then tell me who shot the first bomb? Who fired first? So we fired first, and you want to say that you got the higher ground. You killed more people in a few days than they've killed like in probably a month or two. And you're going to say, we're the good guys. Because you got this mindset that you're the good guy no matter what. Just like Donald Trump said, he go out on 5th Avenue, shoot somebody and kill him. You'd be like, you jumped in front of his bullet. You're trying to say it's the person's fault and not Donald Trump's fault. That's what you're doing to America. We're bombing people, innocent civilians. You got the leader. You're so good. We got the greatest military in the world. Then how'd they fuck up and hit a school? Huh? We had to admit to hit that school because our bombs land where the fuck we want them to land. They didn't land next door. They landed on said school. You can't tell me, it just fucked up. No, you don't get that. You can't say you're the best army, best military in the world, and that you ended up shooting a location and putting in the longitude and latitude. It landed where the longitude and latitude told it to fucking go. and that happens to be a school, and you want to sit there and say, oh, you know, it was a mistake. No, it wasn't. It was on purpose. And you don't get to escape that. You don't get to run away from it. Responsibility, accountability. You don't get to run away from that, because trust me, they're not going to let you run away from it. So that's how you get people hating a country, is when you fuck with them and then run and act like they're supposed to just hide their hand and forget about it. That's like me walking up to you and sucking you right in the eye and then walking away like, you ain't going to touch me. I bet I will. Sock me in the eye. I bet I will. It won't be a sock in the eye. It might be with a brick, but it ain't going to be a sock in the eye. But you get hit back. You hit them and you tell them, just take it. No. You ain't going to kill my kids and they're going to sit there and tell me to take it. That's where you get death to America from. They don't say death to America because they just hate our way of living. They say death to America because they hate the way we try to force them to live the way we think they should live. Each country has a decision on how it's going to be run. And it's up to the people to decide if they want a democracy, a dictatorship, they have to overthrow. They have to risk their lives and fight for their freedoms. It's their country. Same here. You see us out in the streets and we're marching. We're doing our thing. If they start killing us, which they have been doing it, we'll end up taking it to step 2, step 3, step 4, civil war. We ain't going to sit here and be like, could you come help us, Europe? No. We're going to topple this bitch if they try and start taking our lives. That's what you need to do. That's why you got these countries mad at us, and Americans like, well, we did not do anything good by killing that man and leaving that damn population with no leader but the same leadership. That's the same shit they did with Venezuela. Take the dude out alive and well, but out of there, and leave the same regime there. What changed? You think these people didn't treat better in Venezuela with the same regime, with the same strategy, with the same plans? And the only thing that's different is that they're opening up the oil fields so America can get some oil. The rest of the country's being ran the same way. So what changed? America got what it wanted, oil. And they got to remain the same. But some little, I bet you Maduro is probably eating steak and going to brothels every weekend. Ain't heard nothing else about this man's case. Strategies. This shit's a strategy. How do you topple a regime and keep the regime there? Just topple this leader. Same here. You topple the leader, but have no regime to put into place. And Bibi Netanyahu, I would not put it past him killing all the leaders. Donald Trump was sitting here thinking that we were going to be shooting all this other stuff. We're going to have the leaders. I guarantee you, Bibi Netanyahu killed all the leaders and will continue to kill all the leaders because he wants to run that country. It's in him. He wants to run Gaza. Something that's not his. He wants to run it. This is not his. What do you think he wants to do? Of course he's going to want to run it. And he's got America as the muscle and him as the mouthpiece and the strategy. And America has no clue why they're in this war because Donald Trump don't know why. He's just a puppet. And MAGA, you're the ones who elected a fucking puppet. And you, people who voted every other thing outside of a Democrat, you are a problem too. Because if we had Kamala Harris in there, we would have a better country right now. Because the thing she promised was to lower things, to cut, to make rich people pay their fair share. Remember that? She didn't want to give us tariffs. They actually had a plan to literally break everything down and make the economics a lot better in this country. What party, even if you don't like it fully, I don't like everything about the Democrat Party, but you have to give credit where credit is due. What party has done the best economically in this country than the other? it would be Democrats. Which one has created 50-1 jobs? Democrats have created under their leadership over 50 million jobs. You're just looking at 1 million plus under Republicans. So how the hell are you doing better when the Democrats are creating more jobs, which means creating more economics to be in people's homes, which means making people actually wealthier? So how is it just giving 1 million jobs, you're better with the economy? You're not. Republicans don't want themselves to pay taxes. And they get us because, taxes be eating into shit. We want to, but then you realize they don't pay their fair share. They're not paying their percentage. They're paying a small percentage. It may be a lot more money, but you just tripped out. When rich people want you to do shit and get you to on their side, they'll put up percentages. Makes it look like somebody else is getting over on you. But when they're trying to get over you, they don't put up percentage. They put up actual numbers. You guys are going to get money back and all stuff like that. And we're paying our fair share. We're paying enough. We're paying enough. We're paying this. We're paying $30 million. That's a lot. Those are numbers. But then when you find out what's the percentage of your $30 million that you're putting into the pot, what percentage of that? Because I'm paying 20%, I'm paying 30%, I'm paying 40% of my income. How much you paying if that $30 million? Man, that's $30 million. Your 10% ain't nothing but, what, $25,000? That ain't nothing. I'm paying $30 million. I'm putting in more than you. No, if you even believe in the Bible, if you know the story of the Bible, when it talks about the woman who gave her last cent, last penny, that was her entire income. That's more than somebody who gave $1. Because that was what percentage of your income? 1, 2, 3, 10, whatever. Her, it was all of it. Nobody's asking to give all. We're just talking about percentages. So when that person comes to you and says, I'll give $30 million, how much did you make? $1 trillion? So $1 trillion you made, and 30 million is how much you paid. Well, was that your income? Was it income tax that you gathered from everybody and you paid? Or was this your personal income taxes? Which one was it? And they'll take your money from your checks, pay it to the government and say, hey, we paid our taxes. And then when it comes to them, write off so much that they don't end up paying nothing. And you be like, you made it almost $1 trillion and you paid what? They paid 8, 12, 10, or 0%. Every time you pay a check, you paying 20, 30, 40%. Them paying their fair share, 20, 30, 40%. Just like all the rest of us. But instead, they throw tariffs on Americans so that we end up paying for it. We end up paying for the taxes. Or we're going to pay off our debts with this tariff stuff. We get all this money. I got trillions and trillions of dollars, which he didn't have, but he kept on saying that. And I kept telling these same people that trillions of dollars is coming out of your pocket. They're taxing you. It's crazy how they get the American mind to think that they're doing shit for you when they fucking you. We're going to send jobs overseas and you're going to get all these jobs. And we're going to get it cheap over there, charge over here, you charge more over here, and we're going to have all these businesses over here. And then $700,000 gone. Jobs, 700,000 jobs gone. We became broker before we started coming back. But they lied to you. Got your mind thinking, I'm going to make this, I'm going to make that. No, those are promises that were not going to be kept. But got your mind thinking about the greed and you made a horrible decision. And now they're doing the same thing. We're going to bring these jobs back, blah, blah, bring the tariffs, and we're going to trap this and blah. The industries aren't here. In order for you to make that work, the industries have to be here. They're not here. It would make sense if you put tariffs on shit that we mass produce, so therefore we buy it in this country and it help create jobs and opportunity. That's cool. But they're doing it for industries we don't have here. And they're talking about, let's bring back the industries. Well, that's going to take a decade. So it ain't helping. Ain't nobody got a decade to worry about prices going fucking down. Many people live check to paycheck, 60%. Shit keep going up. That's just going to rise to 70 to 80% living paycheck to paycheck. Homelessness is going to go up 20-some% to 30 up to like 28% or whatever, 28 to 30%. You don't want that. But you don't pay attention to it, it's going to happen to this country. It may not be happening to you right now. But if anything's a trickle down that ever works, that's going to trickle down to you eventually, no matter how much money you make. Because ain't nobody going to be going to the gas station buying $12 gallon gas. It ain't going to happen. Not unless the average income is going to be $150,000 per person. And even then, if you got a life, they're still going to be high. So, I mean, just learn what these people are doing and saying to you. The rich are telling you something to get your ass worried about the little dollars they want to give you. We're going to give you $2,000. Whenever they start talking, especially Republicans, whenever they start talking about giving you money, just know that they're about to throw something on your ass that $2,000 is not going to sustain. If they give you two, keep it in mind, they give you $2,000. They know on the back end they're going to tax your ass, increase stuff, going to price gouge you. They're going to get that $2,000 back with interest. You'll get that $2,000, you keep it there, everything will go up. The price of car, the price of gas, tariffs would be thrown on to certain shit. Everything goes up. That $2,000 does nothing. It's gone. And to justify bringing it up like forever, they gave you that $2,000 and everything's going to go up for 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, constant going up. And you got $2,000 that's gone the moment they give it to you. It's crazy how we think that people have our backs, but they truly do not. They do not have our backs, none whatsoever. If they did, they would let you know this stuff. But no, they try and trick you into thinking they got your back. Tariffs are a tax. With Donald Trump starting a war, is Bibi Netanyahu's war. They've gotten multiple stories out there. The one that America starts to accept more, they'll run with. My thing is not to accept any of them. Don't accept any of these excuses that they're giving you. Because then they won't have one they can cling on to. Because they should not be having 3 and 4 and 5 different ideas of what this war is about. Marco Rubio said yesterday that Bibi Netanyahu, Israel was going to bomb Iran, and that we decided to join in because they knew we had embassies there and everything, and therefore we had to be prepared that they were going to come after us anyway, so we joined in. So we got suckered into it is what you're saying. So you're a simp is what you're trying to tell me. So you had no power against Israel, which needs our money and us to like back it for it to be able to do the shit that it does is what you're saying. So you're telling me that you are the simp. The superpower is the simp, and the smaller country, little itty bitty ass country, they're the big dog. They're the alpha. They're the brains behind it all, and you're just the nutsack of it. That is what you're telling me. So I said, wow, America's the nutsack of the fucking country. But then of the country, of the world. But then Donald Trump hears that, and it didn't work. That strategy didn't work. They put it out there. Not only did he put it out there, Mike Johnson put it out there. And today, everybody's sitting here calling Donald Trump basically simp. What the fuck? We started a war with. And then Donald Trump, well, that's not it. That's not it. It was my idea. It was my idea. It was really you didn't say that before. Now you're saying it's your idea because everybody realized you're a puppet. Not only are you Putin's puppet, you're Bibi Netanyahu's puppet. So what does this mean? Our president is for sale. He's not only giving Bubba a shiner. He's over here with Bibi Netanyahu on his knees. He's on his knees with Putin. Who else is he going to be on his knees for? Because we shouldn't have a president that's on his knees, shining the knob of somebody, because that's what he's doing with Bibi Netanyahu. How do we get into a war? We don't even know what the fuck we're doing. And you know he don't know what he's doing because our embassies are getting bombed in Kuwait and other places, and we're sitting here calling them up like now, yesterday and today. Oh yeah, we need you to get out of there if you can. You knew Donald Trump said, we figured they were going to hit us first, so we struck first. That's what he said. He made a decision. So you didn't let the U.S. Embassy people know? Can somebody say Benghazi up in this bitch? Remember Benghazi? Where Hillary Clinton was raked through the coals for the embassy, where I think it was three United States, either military or employees of the embassy were killed, and how that came about. They investigated the hell out of Hillary. They talked so much shit about Hillary. So much hate came to Hillary because of it. And they had investigation. Remember, she was investigating. She was at a deposition or in a hearing. I believe it was 13 hours. And nothing came out of it. She wasn't charged with anything. They couldn't find nothing on her that she did that was negligent. And it just faded away. That was 3. There are 6 bodies that weren't notified that they needed to be away from wherever location they was at. There are embassies that got blown up, and the people didn't even know that they were even a target. Nobody got hurt, supposedly. I don't know I don't trust their numbers until this shit is over. I don't trust them. So we're letting people know on the 3rd day they don't need to be in the embassies in which this country, Iran, has a reach to. I mean, just Sunday, because it was Saturday, early Sunday morning, whatever, Sunday, they were talking about this, possibly these bombings and stuff like that. You got Iran shooting bombs in Israel. And they didn't get the American people out of the Israel embassy, U.S. embassy in Israel. People want to get out of there, come back home. Can't do it. Just hunker down. Hunker down. I mean, dude, you could have at least, we didn't want to, this is one other person's assumption, a Republican assumption. They didn't want to give away what they were going to do. If people saw us leaving, they would have known we was up to something. So you leave your people in harm's way. Let me give you something. This is why I know they all stupid. Pete Hegseth and all of them. When you sent the brigade or the massive amount of military equipment surrounding the country, around areas all in the waters, when your military got that strong, do you really think the people of Iran did not think that you guys were going to war? Hell, the village idiot was like, we're about to go to war. Why would you send all that? You don't send all that unless you're going to war. What would it be for? So you put all that machinery out there. All of it. All these ships, everything. Military, everything around it. You heighten up everything. You heighten up your military bases, all that around it. And you didn't get rid of the people? Do you really think they saw those ships and they say, oh, they just came over here to have a snack? The moment they saw those ships there, they got prepared. Who wouldn't? They was at the ready. Let them fire. One fire, we're firing back. They had to. They would be negligent for their own country if they didn't get their military weapons together too. Just like you got yours surrounding us, we got ours surrounding you. You can't say that they would not do that. If they didn't do that, Iran is an idiot country. And I don't take it to be an idiot country. So we didn't get our people out. Tells me you didn't think this through. It's 3 days and we still got our military, our U.S. embassy people still in position trying to get out, wondering why weren't they notified. I am there. They got money for war, but they can't feed the poor. Tupac Shakur, yeah, love it. So yeah, it was just crazy, y'all. I couldn't understand it. Can't fathom it whatsoever. Gas prices and oil prices are surging right now. We were just talking about gas was high, and now it's about to get higher. And this fool comes out, well, yeah, gas is gonna be high for a short time. Short time, man. You don't know how long this shit gonna last. Your ass said a few days and moved it from a few days to 4 to 5 weeks, and then it could go longer. You don't know because you haven't strategized for it. You have no out. That's called a forever war. Because if you have no way out, you don't know how to get out. You have no strategy. It's crazy. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go into this cave and I'm not going to bring no light. I'm just going to feel my way out of it. You didn't prepare to bring a light so that you get your ass back in the dark. You can't see. Once it go black, how do you get back? You could be getting deeper into the cave. You have to have a plan to get out. Tie a rope around yourself, tie a rope around the entrance, and walk through until you run out of rope. And you be like, oh, I got to go back. And you can carry the rope, pull the rope, bring your ass back to the front. We have no way of getting back because we have no understanding as why the fuck we went into the cave. That's just the simplicity of it. And these people out here running around giving you multiple understandings of why. And why would you do that? Because you have no fucking clue why you're there. Whatever works. The one thing I keep asking myself is, who are the 24% dipshits that see this horrible way of going to war and be like, I'm for it. I want to know, what is your thought process? I know it's remedial as fuck, but I really kind of like want to know. It's like wanting to know why, animals in the wild do what they do. You know what I'm saying? Almost like why the gorillas throw poo. You would want to like cock your head and be like, you human? What part of your brain is not working? Does your brain tingle when you think? I mean, you just sit there and just be like, trying to see if there's something going on in them. Because he's like, how do you think going into a war with no plan and no strategy, no goal? What are you trying to do? Get rid of the regime. So you're trying to take over the regime. Who are you going to put in place? Oh, we killed them all. So the strategy was not, so you failed already, is what you're saying. So you went in and you killed the person that's supposed to take place. So the mission is over, is what you're saying, because you done lost it. What's the second? What's plan B? Oh, that's when we put in a call on a radio station and speak to them and tell them, anybody want to get up and rise up, we'll give you a gun. Say what? That's plan B for you. I ain't kidding. They ain't say give you a gun. They literally trying to get people to rise up, and they'll give them weapons now. Excuse me. Just McFly. Where's the training grounds? You just gonna give people a gun who don't have a gun, who may never shot a gun, no gun training practices. They have a gun that they've never wielded before. They don't necessarily know how to shoot if you're just giving them a gun, because if they had guns, they'd be fighting with their own gun. You're giving them military grade weapons that they ain't never shot before. Where's the training grounds? Because our men and women are trained. And that's the reason why we can win, because we're trained. So you just go out there and shoot. Gun practice is your solution for this. Get some, no trained militia, no strategy beforehand, just annihilation. The more I talk about it, the more I want to throw up. You be sitting there like, are you fucking kidding me? You got no strategy. None. No general. No general. This is where it comes in with Senator Mark, is it Mark Kelly? The 6 senators. This is where it comes in. They've been quiet because I know they respect the military. But y'all need to speak up now because these people started a war when it was illegal. They took illegal actions. This is not a legal war. It's an illegal war. They were told to start fighting, but wasn't given a strategy as how or what they're supposed to do. To just be killing leading despots all over the fucking globe, that ain't boy, that's a way to get America fucked up. That ain't a way for us to be like a superpower to win, going around killing leaders. He thought this shit was going to be Venezuela 2.0. He never looked at the records of how many generals and leaders in this country, presidents and vice presidents and all that, strategic military people, how many times they have gone over if they took the leader of Iran out, how would they go about it? And every president, Republican or Democrat, every military person, after thinking it through, said no. We couldn't accomplish this goal. There's too many variables that we wouldn't be able to do without like just mass killing everybody. And what would that mean? What would that mean in the region? And dipshit Don didn't do his homework. His generals, obviously, they didn't tell him. And if they did tell him and they continue to follow this illegal war, they're in trouble. Because there's no intel that proves this was a reality. If it were, trust and believe they'd have that shit out. But everybody who said anything about this either fired or their mum's the words. They're not saying anything. So we stuck in limbo. 3 days in a war, bombing and killing people. We don't know how many more innocent American soldiers are going to lose their lives. And what you got to understand, people only care about, no disrespect, about the lives lost. But when you're at war, the lives that come back often have been lost if they're at war. The amount of stress they have to go through, depending on their age and their mental capacity to be able to handle something like this. How their mind is dealing with it, coping with it, heart rate, sweating, nightmares, scared to sleep, shakes, all that. And they ain't even going near a bomb, just hearing it and knowing that it's coming for you. When you have that, it's not just the bodies that are coming back in caskets. It's the bodies that's coming back broken. And these people starting wars and not giving a shit about broken people, using them like pawns in a fucking chess game. And nobody wins in America. We have no strategy to win. We have no reason to fight. That's like you saying, yo, man, go over and fight that girl. I'm like, for what? What's she doing to me? What am I doing that? And I'm just going to go over there and fight her? I ain't got no, what I win out of this? Nothing. Then any common sense person be like, I ain't fighting when I ain't got nothing to win out of it. Everything I got to do over there is lose. Why would I do that? Because I'll give you a compliment. That's Donald Trump. I'm going to go over there and lose, right? Yeah. but you're the best military strategist ever known to man. I'm telling you that. Okay, he'd go right over there and do it. Just straight dumbass. That's our leader. Keep your foot on his neck, America. Keep asking the questions. Keep asking the questions, because if we don't get the answers, then that party should get its ass beat in the polls or whatever, elections. I just can't wait for the reckoning of these idiots to be gone. I mean, just we have got to vote them out in droves so that they get the hell out, and we can deal with issues of, oh, you didn't give me this, okay, you gave me that. Oh, we didn't get this, okay, we got that. I'd rather go back to getting some stuff and not getting some stuff than to wake up every day and have hell to pay. You ever notice, under Donald Trump, there's not a fucking day of rest. It is constant fuck up after fuck up after fuck up. And a bunch of idiots in there, it ain't a fuck up, it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. Like, it's a fuck up. What are you talking about? Oh, you can't handle responsibility and accountability, so you got to make up that it's the greatest thing so that you don't feel like the dipshit that your parents, spawned. That's the reason why. But if you could take responsibility and accountability, you realize he was a dipshit and you was acting dumb, and you better yourself. But no, can't do that. But I want that civil discourse. I can agree, and then I can agree to disagree. Then we can make it a vote, and then I have to go with the majority. Even though I may not like it, I go with the majority vote, and we keep it pushing. What's the next bill we got coming? I want that to happen. I want to get back to that. But we have to know, as American citizens, we got to put people in office who literally can get shit done, who literally have these ideals stored in them, and they're not just saying it to win, who have the resume for it. That's the way I look at it. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate it. Who's that again? Is that I'm going to give out a name real quick. I am Leah. How's it go? Wait, what's it? No, I'm. Okay, what? Aaliyah K. Aaliyah K. Why don't you be like, that ain't what it is? Okay, my bad. Anyway, thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. For the $10. It's just crazy, ladies and gentlemen, that we have to go through this. And we all know it's not something that we should have to go through. For some reason, we're going through it. Maybe we need to weed out some stuff. I don't know. But we'll say tomorrow, we'll talk tomorrow more about, I was going to go over how they lit into Kristi Noem's ass today, man. There was multiple people lit her ass. You got to go look up Senator Tom Tillis and how he lit into Kristi Noem, man. He's a Republican, but he went off on her, and I was loving every minute of it. And then you got Marjorie Taylor Greene. We'll probably get into that tomorrow. Be a day late, but still, it's good stuff. You can go check it out if you like. And both of them are butthurt about this war with Donald Trump. But it's crazy. It's crazy how they're like, it's like they're 60-40. You know what I'm saying? They came over like 60%, but then they got that 40% residue of dipshittery. The 40%. You sitting there like, you hear them be like, that makes sense, that makes sense, that makes sense. And then they go, well, the Democrats did this. We didn't do that. That doesn't make any sense. That shit, that's that crazy shit you talking about. Nothing, we did nothing like that. Then they'll get back on talking about Donald Trump. He promised this. Now you're going to be a forever war. You sit there like, now that's what he did. That's what he did. And then they'll go off on a tangent about some other shit that just never fucking happened. They'd be like, I don't think they'll ever be healed. She's like, I don't think I can vote ever again. I'm like, don't. No, I was kidding. I ain't gonna say that, but I was like, do your homework. Good night. She's mad at Republicans and Democrats now. I'm like, all right, maybe she'll come to her senses when that next piece of dipshit ice falls off that little dumbass iceberg called a brain. Then she can be like, oh, I feel a little bit lighter. Oh, all the bullshit's gone. I can't believe I believed all this shit. I'm out of the cult now. I deal with facts. That day is going to be glorious. I think the whole world is going to hear, oh, for everybody. Like, what's that noise? It's loud, but, it's comforting. The dipshit ice has dropped out. Has melted off of these dumbasses. But you would hope. Oh, my God. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, much love to y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow doing some more things. You guys have a great night. I haven't looked at who's winning and who's not in elections and so forth, but I'll probably get into it tomorrow. All right, you guys have a great night. Y'all be safe, and I'll see you when I see you.